What I can do here for you today is tell you what I heard from people.
We got 6 people having 4 conversations in one sentence, and you just told me this is where you got your clear understanding. I've seen church prayer chains that are easier to understand than this.
And back with a Fox News alert, Republicans blasting the Democrats' star witnesses for testifying on mere claims of hearsay as the White House rips into Adam Schiff's evidence. So how much hearsay should be allowed in the impeachment hearings? Joining me now to weigh in, criminal defense attorney David Bruno. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a very long day listening to all this yesterday.
It was, and it's going to happen again Friday.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen multiple days next week. And by the way, this is only what's going to happen in the House. And we got to do it all over again in the Senate. Can you imagine?
A trial, actually,
yes,
is what they're saying now. You know, in terms of what happened yesterday, day one, it did seem like it was just a lot of I heard, he said, and he heard that from someone else who heard that from someone else. How can that be taken seriously and used when you're talking about impeaching the president of the United States and you don't have firsthand evidence yourself?
Yeah, that's the problem. We don't have the rules of evidence, which we would have in a courtroom. And if we were in a courtroom yesterday, basically all of the testimony yesterday would be inadmissible because hearsay is not admissible unless there are certain exceptions, like dying declaration, somebody on their deathbed in anticipation of death. Or excited utterances, for example. But this type of testimony is not admissible hearsay. However, we're in a political process here. This is not the rules of evidence. We're not in a courtroom, and they're able to get out this stuff.
Yeah.
However, we still need to look at this and say, you know, how credible is it? Because there's multiple levels of hearsay, and I saw your tweet yesterday about the telephone game.
Yeah.
Right? The telephone game, which we all played back in the day when we were all young, shows that the multiple levels of hearsay result in inaccuracies.
Disinformation.
And that could be the problem here.
Yeah. My other question is, because we've heard quid pro quo, now we're hearing bribery. How can it be bribery when the person who's on the other side doesn't even know about it?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about President Zelensky.
Correct. July 25th was the phone call. And Zelensky didn't even know that the aid was withheld at the time. So how in the world could it be based on that demand? So great points by Jim Jordan, superstar yesterday for the Republicans, for sure. And this is going to continue because there are only limited number of people that actually had conversations with Trump. And that's Sondland, really. I mean, that is what it boils down to. I think he'll be the most important witness next week.
Yeah.
But absent Sondland, who has direct knowledge? And by the way, Sondland has a great argument for privilege. They may not even get it from Sondland next week because of the executive privilege issues.
Well, someone else that the Republicans were trying to get, you know, out there and wanted to be able to ask questions to is the whistleblower. And this was very interesting yesterday. I want to know what you think of this. Adam Schiff saying he doesn't know the ID of the whistleblower, but his office, you know, seemed to say the opposite prior to this. Listen to this.
Only Chairman Schiff knows who the whistleblower is. We don't.
My colleagues made the statement repeatedly that I've met with the whistleblower, that I know who the whistleblower is. It was false the first time they said it. It was false the second through 40th time they said it. It will be false the last time they say it.
What do you think?
I think that Schiff is a fact witness on this point. And he's also the chairman. How can you have dual responsibilities? He's not under oath when he makes those statements. He is a person that needs to be questioned.
So he's not under oath when he makes that statement. Are you saying he's lying?
Yeah. No, well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are reports that the whistleblower at least went to his staff before he went to the AIG. And that needs to be ferreted out. And I'm very hopeful from the statements I heard from Lindsey Graham, Lindsey Graham, last night in Hannity, saying we're not going to allow hearsay in the Senate. And again, we have to do this all over again in the Senate. This is unbelievable.
You would think that Democrats, listening to what happened yesterday, if they want to be taken seriously, that maybe there would be some conversations behind the scenes that, hey, we do need to get this whistleblower to come forward?
Sure. I think they're having those conversations today as a result of what happened yesterday. And the results of these talking points, these are natural talking points today about hearsay. They have to have these concerns because they have to convince the public, the representatives, and later the senators.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like they've convinced many Republicans as of today. That's
Not
for
as
sure.
of yesterday. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us, as always.
Pleasure.
More to come.